Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Hexter, Marshal Goodhue, members of the stage party, faculty, graduates, and guests, I am absolutely delighted to introduce this year's keynote speaker, Helene Dillard. Dr. Dillard is currently the Dean of the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, a position she began in January of 2014, just earlier this year. Actually, Dean Dillard returned to UC Davis because she is a distinguished UC Davis alumna, so she has come full circle. In fact, she was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, where she received her bachelor's degree from UC Berkeley in biology and natural resources in 1977. She continued her studies right here at UC Davis, where she earned a master's degree in soil science and a doctoral degree in plant pathology in 1984. Upon graduating from UC Davis, Dr. Dillard joined the faculty of the Department of Plant Pathology at Cornell University's New York State Agricultural Experiment Station in Geneva, New York. This position allowed her to devote half of her time to research and half to extension responsibilities for vegetable crops. She served as Associate Dean of Cornell's College of Agricultural and Life Sciences and as Associate Dean of the College of Human Ecology, as well as Director of the Cornell Cooperative Extension serving rural and urban communities in agriculture and food systems, in children, youth and families, community and economic vitality, environment and natural resources, and nutrition and health. Dr. Dillard is an accomplished scientist and a highly skilled administrator. She is a strong supporter of fundamental research and through her own educational and research efforts has demonstrated a commitment to solving practical problems, especially through cooperative extension and its service to agriculture, the environmental community, and the general public. And of course, she is a UC Davis alum, which is her most important attribute. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Helene Dillard.
Thank you, Dean Gibbeling, and welcome members of the faculty, staff, graduates, and guests. I'm truly honored to be the speaker at the 2014 Graduate Studies Commencement. In this ceremony, we honor the recipients of the university's highest degrees. I congratulate our master's and doctoral candidates today for their outstanding accomplishments in earning their degrees. As Jeff said, 30 years ago, I celebrated this very same event at UC Davis as a PhD student in plant pathology. My parents and close relatives were in the audience, and if my mom could have obtained a ticket for the family cat, he would have been here too. Right now, you are probably experiencing a mixture of feelings: pride, satisfaction, excitement, and relief that the studying, the researching, the writing are now completed. I'm sure there were times when you thought this day would never arrive, but you persevered. It's been a long road to this achievement and well worth it. So as I reflected back on those graduate school days, I realized there were many lifelong lessons and attributes that I learned directly and indirectly during my time here as a graduate student at UC Davis. These lessons turned out to be critical to success in my personal life and in my career. Today, I would like to share what I consider to be crucial nuggets for success as you embark on your careers. The first of those nuggets is to be a team player. Obtaining a master's or a PhD degree is an achievement that's linked directly to the scholarly research of an individual. But when you think about how that achievement was actually obtained, many individuals participated in the pathway to success. Your research was conducted in the context of a team that included the undergraduate work-study students who entered the survey data onto the computer for you or cleaned the glassware in your laboratory, the custodians who emptied the garbage and cleaned the floors, the technician who ordered the enzymes that you needed for that breakthrough experiment, the postdoc who showed you how to use the equipment properly, the fellow graduate student who showed you last year's exam, the IT person who fixed your computer so you could finish your thesis before the looming deadline, and the professor who edited your very, very first rough draft. My UC Davis experience taught me how to work with others and appreciate and recognize the contributions of many. Today, just as about everything I do as a dean is in the context of a team of individuals dedicated to reaching a common goal and vision for the college. And one thing that I hear repeatedly from employers is the need for our graduates who can be team players. The second nugget is to listen. My major professor at UC Davis, Ray Grogan, had a saying, "Listen to the data." And there are many ways to interpret that comment. As a graduate student, I realized he wanted me to pay attention to the results of the first experiment and understand the meaning of the data before plunging into the next experiment. And years later, as a mom of a teenager, I used that saying, "Listen to the data," to help me work through those complex situations that teenagers present to their parents. And as a dean, I use it now to focus on hearing the voices of students, staff, faculty, and stakeholders, and to analyze and move forward on challenges and opportunities that are facing my college. I know you will find that sometimes it's really hard to sit still and listen, but I encourage you to do so because it's a really valuable skill. The next nugget is to be gracious and thankful. Kind words and deeds go a long way. I still remember the postdoc in the lab here at UC Davis, Dr. Larry Stoll, who saw me staring in despair at the computer and offered to help. 30 years ago, the computer programs available to create graphs were seriously clunky and difficult to use. You had to program every command just right, or there would be no graph. This postdoc was quite technologically savvy, so I was absolutely thrilled when he offered to help. Undoing whatever mistakes I had made turned out to be impossible, so we started over. It took hours, but he stuck it out with me until the graphs finally showed up on the screen. Prior to that, we had barely spoken more than a few words to each other. Scientists tend to be introverts, so that's probably why we communicated so little. After that, I thanked him every time I saw him. For the next few weeks, our conversation started to increase, and to this day, we remain good friends. So be kind and gracious to others. The rewards return in unexpected ways. The next nugget is to give back. Many times we can't give back to those who directly helped us, but we can give a special gift of our time, our talents, and support to others in need. UC Davis is a land-grant university with a very strong public service ethic embedded in our curricula and in our programs. I carried this sense of service with me when I went to Cornell University, and I've personally found that service to others will return rewards to you that cannot be measured. The next nugget is to follow your passion. I was born and raised in San Francisco in homes that had front yards about the size of my desk. I wanted to be a scientist, and I dreamed about wearing a white lab coat. Neither parent had gone to college, but my mom always dreamed that I would go to college and make it, as she said. As my interest in biology grew, one year she bought me a kid's microscope for Christmas. What a joy that microscope was. I followed the instructions and I looked at the cells from onion skins and molds growing on bread. And in the meantime, my grandmother was an avid gardener of that tiny patch of land in front of our house, which helped instill in me the love of the land. So when I got to college, first at UC Berkeley and then at UC Davis, I explored the large and complex world of biology and found my passion in agriculture and plant pathology. And there were folks along the way who thought, this is quite silly. What on earth would I do with a degree in pathological whatever? And why would a city kid be interested in farming? Some suggested I was destined for perennial unemployment. My mom believed in me and never questioned the passion. And I still remember her telling my dad, of course we don't understand this. She's going places we've never been. By following your passion with an open mind, You will go to places you've never been or even dreamed of, and you will take some unexpected turns, but you will find great rewards in life's journey. The next nugget is to define your own success. Defining your success is closely linked to following your passion. There are definitions and metrics for success as an assistant professor aiming for tenure, and there are definitions for success in private industry. I've learned that you must also have your own set of definitions for what you want to be as a person and for the contributions you plan to make at work and in society, and what you believe is relevant to be a success as a human being on planet Earth. Success comes in many different forms, so don't feel pressured into exploring only traditional paths. And finally, enjoy life. Find something special about each and every day. For me, it's the sound of birds chirping in the morning. For one thing, I know I didn't die in my sleep if I hear the birds chirping. But seriously, hearing birds chirping in the morning is something that I can enjoy whether I'm at home or traveling in the US or overseas. I'm also a person who will stop the car and watch the raptors soaring in the air. And right now, early summer in Yolo County is a prime time to stop for a minute and listen to the calls of the Swainson's hawks as they soar overhead. So graduates, you have worked so hard to get to this moment of graduation. Your scholarly work has brought distinction to this university and to you personally. You have made your friends and families so very proud and so very happy. You are graduating from one of the most respected public universities in the world. So use what you have learned to help shape that world. The degree you are receiving today is a recognition of your tremendous personal and professional accomplishment. And this is just the beginning of an incredibly bright future. As you embark on your career paths, enjoy every moment and follow your heart. Look for opportunities to make a positive change wherever you are. Reflect on and follow the lifelong lessons that you learned as a graduate student here at UC Davis. So congratulations on a job well done, and best wishes to all of you and your families. Thank you.